of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to another Ask the Experts. We're on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. drive time, take you home. And this is the first Monday of the month. So the first Monday of the month means the Simon Group USA. And she's actually in studio today while I'm here at home. This is all through the technology and the help of Freddie Santori with AMP2.tv. So let's welcome the senior partner of the Simon Group USA, Phyllis Simon. Hi, Phyllis. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not hearing you. I see your mouth moving, but I'm not hearing you. Let's hope Freddie can fix this. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me? Shake your head yes, if you hear me. Okay, I don't hear you. Freddie, can we fix this? Well, we're here with Phyllis Simon while Freddie's working on the. It's amazing. This is the only show we ever have technical difficulties. Say something, Phyllis. Nope. Cannot hear you. Let me see. I tell you what, let's go to break.
Huh?
Oh,
How are
wait a
you
minute.
doing? Are you okay?
I hear you
me
now.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. All right, Steve-O,
So-
just a little housekeeping. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine now.
Okay, just a quick housekeeping. October 15th, open enrollment for Medicare. To December 7th, everybody that has a Medicare plan or is going to join Medicare or whatever you're going to do, give me a call, 954-599-1950. We'll discuss it. Today, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to talk to you about what the government is doing to you. There was a new Secure Act that was written in December of 2019. A lot of people are not really aware of it. In fact, some of your financial advisors probably didn't even tell you about it. But it's called, and the reason why it says Secure Act, Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement. You get it? Setting every community up for retirement enhancement, which is called the Secure Act. Now, this act has changed some rules on the law on inherited IRAs. So,
okay.
let's just say you want to leave some money to your kids. You know your kids are going through a rough time, so you figured you could stretch your IRA. You've been saving it, and you haven't been taking any money from it. Well, this new law says they must spend the money over a 10-year period, be done with it, and that's it. They can't stretch it anymore. So with that, I'm just giving you that information. So I'm going to give you some news on what's going on. Steve, I gave you, you have
Why are
some
they
questions?
doing that, Phyllis?
Huh?
Why
sorry?
are they doing that?
Why are they doing it? Because they want the money from you faster. They want the money from the people. They want the kids, you know, they set up the government's trying to destroy our wealth. What's the best way to do it? Through the RMDs, minimum distribution, state taxes, and the assault is happening to all the baby boomers. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you about it, is that the baby boomers are born between 1946 and 64. They're the fastest growing population in America. Boomers control the majority of money. So they control the majority of wealth in America. There are 42 million baby boomers in the United States. They account for more than 35% of our population. 18% of all millionaires in the U.S. are over 65. 38% of all boomers have household income of over $75,000. And 12 million baby boomers own their own business, with many with no plan to retire.
Well, I'm telling you, that is going to ruin the economy if they allow this to happen.
Okay? So
What should people
Go ahead.
what should people do, Phyllis?
Well, everything is not all roses for the baby boomers. Waiting for baby boomers are taxes, distribution requirements, cause considerable damage to estate values, retirement accounts, and investment income. All boomers are subject to the damaging effect of these taxes and requirements, and all boomer estates are impacted by these results. So the damage comes in two forms. The RMDs, which you must take, okay, true, those who are born after, July 1st, 1949, don't have to take money until they are
Okay.
72. Anybody prior to that is taking RMDs. This year they gave us a reprieve because of the coronavirus that you didn't have to take an RMD, which a lot of people, especially a lot of my clients, have decided not to take their required minimum distribution because they really don't need the money. So the RMD was designed to force liquidation of tax-favored retirement accounts. It forces an increase in unearned income and marginal tax rates, and it immediately destroys up to 50% of the account values. On estate taxes, it forces heirs to liquidate their assets, destroys the value of an estate, and can cause unrecoverable damage to family businesses. And because of this new Secure Act, they got to use the money in 10 years. It's crazy, because truthfully, when parents pass and they leave their money to their kids, usually the parents are in their 80s and their kids are in their highest earning years of their jobs. And now they have to spend this money down in 10 years. It's so dumb. So they have to take
Well, what are you
distributions.
telling your clients?
Pardon me?
What are you telling your clients to do?
Well, I'm telling my clients that one of the smartest things to do, if they're healthy, I tell them how to get away from this, how to give their kids their money without being taxable. Take your RMDs and whatever it buys in life insurance and do that every year. Just keep doing it. When the kids inherit the money when you die, it's tax-free. The RMDs are not going to be tax-free when they get it. The IRAs are not going to be tax-free. So what you're doing is you're taking the money from the left pocket and putting it in the right pocket, or if you're right-handed, from the right pocket to the left pocket. Just depends. So, hey, listen, if you're right-handed and you put all your money in your right pocket, you're going to spend it faster than if you put it in your left pocket, because you don't remember to put your left hand in your left pocket. Vice versa. If you're left-handed and you put your money in your right pocket, you're not going to spend your money. So what I'm asking you to do is, hey, if you're in good health, especially now with the COVID,
Right.
rethink your insurability, rethink of what's out there. It's great to have good investments. It's wonderful. But take some of those investments, take those distributions, and if an insurance company is willing to give you coverage now, because if you're over 70, let me tell you, it's hard to get it, but we do have companies that are offering people that are in basic good health a policy. And you can take those tax dollars that your children inherit into tax-free dollars. It is the smartest way to move money from one area to another area. There are people that have an RMD that they need some of the money, but they don't need it all. Or they have a lot of money and they have to take very big distributions, and they keep reinvesting it. It gets to a point where people get too old to buy life insurance. it also gets to a point where people amass so much money that they're going to leave it to the kids. They love their children. Okay, that's great. They love their grandchildren, but they got to spend it within 10 years. That's a dumb thing to do. So
I got
that's
to tell
one of
you,
my,
my financial advisor,
ideas.
my
And it's
financial
called the
advisor,
RMD gotcha. You got to take the money, and they're going to really, really tax you to the hilt.
I would fire my
Steve,
financial
can't hear
advisor.
you. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now. You look like you're
I said
baffled.
I would fire my financial advisor if he didn't tell me this.
Well, a lot of people should be sitting down with their financial advisor. That's why you're supposed to call me. 954-599-1950. The Simon Group. I've been in business for 33 years. We have wonderful, wonderful ideas to help people preserve their money, make sure they don't run out of money, and those that want to create a legacy for their children and their grandchildren. And guess what? We have other ideas also. If, God forbid, you have a health issue and you can't get the insurance, we have other ideas on how to prevent the government from getting it all. And it's, perfectly legal. Trust me on that. But we have great ideas for those people that need the protection and need to want to pass money on. I mean, I love to do things that are going to give people more in their pocket, and the only way you can do it is if you sit down and call us. Again, 954-599-1950. The Simon Group.
Phyllis,
Yes.
tell everybody again about your company. Now, you are in business with your son, Daniel,
Yes. Danny.
and you've been doing this for a long time.
He is, I'm going to tell you something. I started in 1987, and I started to work for a very, very well-known insurance company, and I didn't want to be that typical insurance person. I told my managers, listen, you're not going to find me, selling $1 million worth of policies and things like that. I want to do what's right for the people, give them the right thing. So I went out there and I sat with people, business owners, and I used to do a lot of pension plans and health insurance back in the day when insurance companies had better types of products than they have today. And over the years, I built up a very nice reputation. Everybody knows me as being a very honest person, but I tell you like it is.
That's why you've
I'm
been
not
in
gonna
business for so long.
soft it. Right. 15 years ago, Daniel, who was working for a very well-known brokerage firm, decided to join me because after my discussions with him about the fact that everybody's going to go into this business, he came and joined me. Now, I got to tell you about Daniel. He has a fabulous personality, a very bright young man. He's my next generation. My clients were thrilled because their fear was that if something happened to me, what are they going
Right.
to do? They were afraid to go to somebody that's going to want to just replace everything that I did. And here I got them on the right path to what they needed. So Daniel sat with them. Most of them have met him. Everybody speaks to him. He's a bright young man. He knows all about the investment. He's very adverse in that area. He's good with the insurance side, and he understands that people's needs come first. It's not our needs. We're fiduciaries. We have to do the right thing for the client. And that's what kept me in business all these years, by doing the right thing. Simon Group has been around a long time.
Well, let's go to break. Give everybody your phone number.
Area code 954-599-1950, the Simon Group. And feel free to call. We deal with all kinds of things, from Medicare to health insurance, investment, life insurance.
Long term. Okay, we'll be right back with Phyllis Simon.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
Hey,
We're back.
yes, we are.
We're here with Phyllis Simon, senior partner of the Group USA. They are financial advisors. She has been in business for a long time, and there's a reason for that. Phyllis, now you do a lot of you are independent, is that right? You can offer different companies.
I'm a broker. I'm independent in respect, but I deal with a very, very fine firm, and we do our business through them. And yes, I have business through what they call in the brokerage world general agencies that we do. But yes, we're independent, and it's really nice because it helps everybody, number one. Number two is we're able to give people more information than the average, Joe. And today, with the new rules from the federal government, you cannot be called an investment advisor or a financial advisor unless you really are one, licensed, a fiduciary, and you have the proper licensing, where a lot of insurance people call themselves financial advisors, but they don't have securities licensing. They are not fiduciaries. So the Department of Labor changed a lot of rules for everybody as of June of this past year, and there's been a lot of changes out there to make it safer for the people to invest. One of the problems, though, is that the government has gotten so involved, and this is not stemming from the recent administration. This is stemming from things that were done back when the ACA Act came into play, known as Obamacare. They changed the investment surtax for individual income. So if you have baby boomers that are getting individual income of over $200,000, they're going to have a 3.8% investment surtax. Married couples with $250,000 more, they file jointly, they get a 3.8% investment surtax. People don't see all this stuff, all these surtaxes and things like that. Also, it's another thing is if you make over a certain amount of money, it changes your marginal income. Now, for baby boomers, senior citizens, this is a problem. If your marginal income is over a certain amount of money, you're going to pay more money for your Medicare premium.
Oh, no.
The average Joe pays like $144 a month for Medicare. So if you're marginal because you have fabulous investments and you have to take your RMDs, and all of a sudden now you're paying $400 a month for your Medicare, plus then you're going to pay an impact on your IRMA, which is your drugs, and they're going to charge you more money for that. So all of a sudden your $2,500 in Social Security becomes $2,000 a month. That's a big chunk of change for a senior citizen.
How are they going to live? Phyllis, how are senior citizens going to live? You're on a fixed income.
Well, people that are getting Social Security are on a fixed income, okay? But a lot of those people also have investments. Those investments cause their Social Security money to be taxable. Okay, so if you're in that baby boomer group that has husband and wife both get Social Security, and let's just say they get $4,000 a month, okay, which is the average normal today, okay, they have 401ks that they rolled over to IRAs. Because remember, that Secure Act also includes the 401k money that if you leave it to your kids, they're going to have that inability to stretch those investments. They have to bend it down over a 10-year period, okay? But we'll just use that. So let's say the couple together gets $170,000 a year. They're going to pay taxes on everything. Their Social Security, but even though they may not pay a lot of money in regular income taxes, they're going to look at the marginal. The marginal tax is what your Medicare premiums are based on. So if your marginal is over a certain amount of money, you're going to get hit with ridiculous cost for your Medicare Part B that you pay for from your Social Security check.
Right.
So that, wait a minute, my adjusted gross income was, they're not going by adjusted gross. They're going by the marginal, which is the grand total of everything. That means your Social Security money. This is before you get all the breaks. That means your RMDs. That means your income, that anybody that's got a decent savings account that's getting some sort of interest, that your capital gains and your distributions of dividends from your investments, regular investments. So when you add it all up, okay, remember, 38, large percentage, 38% did I say before, of
Yes.
baby boomers, okay, they have incomes that are high. They're making money. Some of them are still working. Because why? Because they came from a workaholic generation. They were not the kind of people that, I can't wait till I'm 65, I'm going to lay back and do
Right.
nothing. And now with the coronavirus, everybody's looking to try to find something to do because those people have nothing to do and they're bored out of their head. They don't know what to do. So it's the dilemma, but the Secure Act really bothers me a lot, and I'll tell you why. If you're not a spouse, you're not a disabled child, if you're not a spouse that's less than 10 years younger, in other words, if you're a minor child and your parent died, God forbid, but if you're a minor child, then you're not going to get hit with that 10-year distribution rule. If you're a spouse, you don't get hit with it. But how many times you have widows and widowers that leave their money to their kids?
Oh, that's right.
And they're going to have 10 years, they've got to spend it. And nobody wants to add another $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to their annual income. And you think anybody's going to quit their job and not work for a year? So they can take the distributions from mommy and daddy's pension or their investments? No, that's not going to work. So it's a problem. So when you sit down with somebody like me and you talk about it and you tell me your dilemma, and I come up with the solutions. Look, everybody's got a problem. I come up with the right solution for you. Whether it's your Medicare, whether it's your health insurance, whether it's your investments, whether it's your savings, whether it's your kids, I also help on that. So if they need help
Do you do
anyway.
disability insurance?
Disability, life, health, you name it. And
I got to tell you, because who would have known about COVID? I mean, we didn't expect anything like this. And I'll bet you a lot of people who are like me got caught with not having disability insurance.
well, you're right.
And got slammed.
You're right.
Everybody should have that, shouldn't they?
Absolutely. Anybody between the ages of 25 and they're working, because today kids under 25, most of them aren't working anyway, they're still in school. But anybody between the ages of 25 and 55 need to have a decent disability policy. That's one of the most important things to have, and it's the last thing they think about. And it's amazing. You know, unfortunately, COVID is not discriminatory. It's not.
Yeah.
Fortunately, right. I got to say it is. Fortunately, it's not I can't say fortunately either. It's an unfortunate thing. It's not discriminatory because it takes everybody. Doesn't matter how old
Right.
you are, how young you are, or anything like that. Sometimes I get screwed up with my words. It's okay. I'm allowed.
No, I understand what you're saying.
But what you get, what I'm saying, is the fact that people don't look at disability as a real thing. And a lot of people that had COVID, the ones that were lucky enough to beat it and didn't get very, very sick, and some of them were able to go back to work, some of them have what's called lingering problems.
Yes.
Those, we don't know yet on those lingering problems what it's going to cause. Because COVID, I hate to spoil it, but COVID has 7 different strains, according to CDC. That's a scary thing. So, yeah, maybe you could have survived strain number 1, and then you could probably get strain number 6. We don't know. We just don't know. And until we have, or our scientists, which is a very important thing, till they come down with some sort of a vaccine or something like they have with the regular flu. So until they come up with something like that, I think COVID is going to have a tremendous impact on people's finances, and that's what I'm here for. Tell you a little story. I had a client that, he's been around since maybe 89, and at the time, I actually sort of forced him because I was new, I was 2 years in the business, a little green behind the ears, and I really did push a whole life policy on him, and he only wanted term insurance. I said to him, look, you're a young business owner. I said, put this money away for yourself. In case something comes up sometime in the future and you need a few bucks, you got a place to go without trying to prove you can get credit somewhere. Because if a bank doesn't want to give you credit because your credit may not be that good or you can't get the loan, you could always go to this policy and get it. So he ended up buying it. He bought $500,000 worth of insurance, and it was a hefty premium for him as a young businessman. But he thought about what I said. It's a forced savings, and of course everybody told him he was an idiot, he was stupid, he did this. Well, this year he called me. He said, "Hey, Phyllis, I got a big problem." Now, this guy's business has expanded over the years phenomenally, making a fortune. And all of a sudden, nothing. Because how his business was ran was that he had his stuff in other businesses where people were using the things that he used, where he made his money. So he could not, those people were not going to work, so they were not buying his stuff. So all his business, and they're talking about 500 outlets, of where he had, so he had no money left. Nothing, no income coming in.
Wow.
Phyllis, what can I do? I have big bills, I have this, I have that. And we went and took a loan from his insurance policy. And he sat there and thanked me and thanked me and thanked me. And he said, everybody out there told me I should invest my money in the market. I should do this, do this. He said throughout all the years, this thing kept growing and growing and growing. And now I can pay back the loan once my business starts picking up as little as I want to, as much as I want to. And he was able to borrow a couple of $100,000. I saved his backside. That's exactly what I saved. I can't say the other word, but,
I understand.
But
you know what, Phyllis? You're right, because, I had COVID, and they don't tell you about after you test negative. It's not over. My lungs ache almost on a daily basis, and I know that I've done damage to my lungs because of COVID. So you're right. I mean, this could cause long-term damage to people who had COVID.
Right, especially the younger ones. So we don't know what's going to happen. But, in business like mine, as an advisor, look, I'm not a doctor. I don't tell people what to do as far as their health. Sometimes, but I shouldn't, but sometimes, But I do everything out of my concern for them. I want to make sure that they're financially healthy. That's the most important thing, to be financially healthy. And that's why I ask people, please, if you hear my voice, give me a call. You can reach me at 954-599-1950, the Simon Group. And no question too stupid, no question too small, no question too big. I will spend my time talking with you. And if you feel that we're the people for you, we can have a consultation, we could talk, and we can discuss whatever we need to do to help you achieve that financial freedom, to help protect your family, to help protect your next generation, whatever you wish to do. Even long-term care. See, disability, by the way, is also long-term care for people from 55 and up. Even 50-year-olds should be considering it, because pretty soon, mark my word, I'll be probably pushing up the daisy, but mark my word, insurance companies will stop selling long-term care. And then what are the people going to do? Have their children take care of them when their children can't take care of themselves that well? Because people rely on their family to work with them and help them. Come on, let's face reality. This year has taught everybody a bitter lesson. Parents have problems taking care of their kids with the homeschooling, in which, it's problematic. Parents that work and have to do homeschooling while they're working, it's very difficult. You know that, Steve.
Yeah.
I know it. My grandchildren are at homeschool. My children work. I mean, what are you supposed to do? People lose patience. So you can imagine a 50-year-old person trying to take care of an 80-year-old person that cannot do things themselves, and how much of their patience is going to be tested. And there's another thing, elder abuse is very common, and it's going to get worse. And people just don't see it. So they got to be smart enough to say, listen, I'll never put my kids through this. I did the right thing 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or this year. I bought myself some long-term care to make sure that my kids don't have to go through this, because I really don't want a 60-year-old taking care of a 90-year-old, because the 60-year-old body is starting to, break down, and the 90-year-old is too frail. So, but that's what happens in today's society, right?
You're right. Hey, we got to go to break. We're here with Phyllis Simon. She's the senior partner at the Simon Group USA with her son Daniel. And when we come back, we've got more. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
This is the Ask the Experts show. We're on every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7 on 4 different stations. No one can give you that. We're on 1470 AM, 96.9 FM, 95.3 FM, and 103.9 FM. And this Thursday, I have got Steve Cortez, who's a senior advisor at the White House. He was on Sunday with Chris Wallace, and boy, did he give Chris Wallace a run for his money. He'll be with us Thursday at 6:30. So we're talking with Phyllis Simon. She's one of the senior partners at Simon Group USA, and everything you say, Phyllis, just rings home with me. It makes so much sense. Is this the? I mean, people just don't think about long term at all until it's too late.
That's very true. One of the biggest problems with long-term care is usually the people are in their like 70s or 80s, depending on your family history. Okay, because I have noticed that there are more people in their 70s developing Alzheimer's, which is scary. It really is. We're happy that somebody can reach 76, 77, 78, but all of a sudden, it's normal for them to be forgetful. No, it isn't. I know plenty of 90-year-olds that are in the greatest mental shape as possible. So it could have a lot to do with your diet, has a lot to do with your health. It could have a lot to do with a lot of things. But, if you try to do the best thing and keep your health intact, you can really live a longer life. Now, long-term care comes into play. I mean, you could just, God forbid, have an accident. And you can break your legs, your knees, you can break a lot of things. The older you are, the larger chance that you're not going to recover for a long time. And long-term care, if it's a chronic illness, if it's an illness that's going to last more than 90 days, because it's your doctor that tells you about it, if it's just like regular disability, if it's going to last more than 90 days, and it's something that you cannot get around to do two activities of living, you can't do things on your own. That's when it comes into play, and that's when it helps you. And sometimes, they could see somebody walking down the street, coming out of their house without the caretaker with them. You don't know if they're an Alzheimer's person or not. And somebody might be watching from the onset, from the insurance company, doing a fact check to make sure there's no fraud, and then turn around and say, hey, that guy, he's walking around the street, he's doing fine, we shouldn't be paying them. And it turned out it was an Alzheimer's patient, just got lost. You see those signs on the road? Senior alert?
Yeah.
Senior alert.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Silver alert means senior alert. Silver means for old people. You see amber for children, but silver means for old people. And we got to be careful. We really have to be smart enough that if we have a long-term care policy, those of you that do, and you go into claim, make sure that you work with a care coordinator, make sure you work with a good agency. It could even be somebody that's fully licensed in the state. It could be a private person that can get paid by the insurance company. As long as they are fully licensed, that they can be paid. People just look for, I want my daughter to take care of me and pay her. You can't do that. That doesn't work that way. The idea is that your children are not there to take care of you because you need somebody that's objective. And children are never objective, really.
Yes, right.
So that's another story. You're laughing, but it's the truth. I mean,
I know.
It upsets them, then they lose patience, and everybody. Today, everybody's losing patience faster than ever because of the COVID. So disability is important, long-term care is important. Let's help you protect that money that you saved all those years in your 401ks and your IRAs, because the 401k has the same thing. If your kids inherit the 401k or a significant other, you're not married to them. It's not a spouse. It's just a significant other that you want to leave your money to. 10 years, they got to spend it down. Now, that's a dumb thing, because what if that person's only 50 and you plan on that money being for that person for the rest of their life, and the government telling them you got to spend it all now over the next 10 years? That means by the time he's 60, he's broke? That's not right. That's not fair. It's unfair. It's a terrible thing to do to people. But I hate the way that it says secure, setting every community up for retirement enhancement. The Secure Act. Who came up with this dumb name? Meaning, it's more like socialized medicine,
It's like the Affordable Care Act. It's like the Affordable
socialized
Care Act. That's
investment.
not affordable.
Socialized investments. I'm sorry. I mean, I work very hard for my money, and I saved my money. I was wise enough to put money away that if, God forbid, something happened in the future, I have it to live on. God forbid I die, my kids have a nice inheritance. That's the way I think. I think my parents passed away, I never got anything. I got a belt to my father's bathrobe.
Oh.
I'm being very honest with you. They had nothing, but they were the best generation because they took care of their parents. And they were the ones with World War II, and they were the ones that gave us as much as they possibly could. So how about us training our children to try to do the same thing? The problem with our children is that we gave them so much, and they have too much on their plate because nowadays, two people it takes to earn a living, to run a family and a household. It's not where daddy goes to work and mommy's a housekeeper. It's not like that anymore, and especially today with the COVID virus, it's even worse. Not everybody's coming home with a paycheck. So
Right. Phyllis,
it
we
has
got
a
a text.
terrible ripple effect.
We got a text from a listener. Says, I'm not asking you who you're for president, but if Biden becomes the new president, will you have to change your thinking financially and long term?
We've already set up our what we call cushion, that if the things change, we set up a cushion already. Financially, people are going to need insurance more than ever because they're not going to have as much money as they thought they would because they're going to start getting hit with a lot of taxes. I mean, every administration does a new budget. I have to understand when they do a budget lasts 10 years. So if an administration inherits somebody else's budget, usually if they're in office for 8 years, we'll use that example like Obama was, then the new president gets 2 years of the old budget, and then he has to enhance his own. And now if he's only in for 4 years, then they still are living with the previous president's budget.
Right.
So they keep trying to change the rules. So they keep coming up with new ideas. And it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's been, I feel that a lot of people are very much divided in what they want. I have seen a lot of good in the past 4 years. I've seen a lot of bad in the past 4 years. I feel that people have to be more concerned with their own personal finances, they got to be a little selfish. Yes, if you like giving to charity, give to as much charity as you want to, if you can afford to. That's a wonderful thing, because that's what we're here for. But I also believe charity starts at home. You got to take care of your own. You got to take care of your kids. You know, it's the old expression, the shoemaker, kids have no shoes. So
Yeah.
It's the same thing in America, where we have, we're giving everybody in the world the opportunity of making money except us. Our businesses have disappeared from 1980 to current. It's just a horror. From the furniture industry to the garment industry. And you got to realize what kind of a domino effect all this has. Garment industry, you had cotton. They were growing cotton in the field, which made fabrics. You had the whole South that were making all our fabrics. You had the Northeast that were making, coloring, doing the dyeing of the fabric. You had manufacturers all over the country, sewing, making clothes, and selling them. And you had, yes, we imported some stuff from Italy. We imported from France, even India and some places. But when you turn around and you take a whole industry, and even taking anything that was manufactured here, gone. I mean, it's just very sad. And to me, we have to bring that back. Now, listen. The last president before this current one, he promised he was going to do it. We never got it. He made a lot of new jobs. They were all government workers. I'm sorry. I don't need more people on the government payroll. I don't want to pay more taxes. I pay the high taxes. Listen, I don't mind paying taxes. I make a nice living. I don't mind paying taxes because that's one of the benefits of making a nice living. I pay taxes. I don't expect to get anything for nothing. I work very hard at what I do. But come on here, everybody. Help yourselves out. It's the same thing with COVID. It is a joint effort. Everybody should be out there wearing masks. I saw so many people today. I'm driving in my car, and nobody's wearing a freaking mask walking in the street. In a shopping center, I drove through because I was thinking of stopping in a store, and then I said, not today. All right, because I have to double think on it. If I need something, maybe I could wait 2 more days before I'm going to go pick it up. Okay? I'm nervous because I don't know who's walking into that store,
Right.
who's just touching everything, and then I'm going to go touch it, and I'm going to get sick from it. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. And I don't think it's fair to impose myself on somebody else. So this joint effort, we're in a war, everybody. I said this 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We're at war. We all have to work together to make this work. Otherwise, it's not. Yes, everybody could go back to work, but be smart about it. Do it in small increments. Now that they all of a sudden opened up so many things, all of a sudden the numbers are coming up again. Hello? Really.
I
The
don't
numbers
know
coming
why.
up, it's scary.
Governor just opened up all the restaurants,
All the what?
gyms. The governor just here in Florida, DeSantis, opened up all the restaurants.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something. When you're in a state that no longer has manufacturing and it doesn't make anything and they rely strictly on tourism, what in the world
Right.
are you going to do? I mean, listen, I don't agree with him. I went to one restaurant with my daughter last weekend because we went to look for something. We sat outside, and it was every other table. We ordered some food. We got up, and we left. The waiter had gloves. The waiter had a mask. I said, I wouldn't go anywhere. I said, listen, I love you all. You want to go into a restaurant? That's your choice. First of all, I get very nervous because I don't know if the waiter picked up the food wearing a mask or not.
Right.
That scares me, okay? So I'd rather cook at home anyway. I'm a very good cook. So I like
Yeah,
to
you
make
are.
fancy stuff. I am, all right? And sometimes I'll call in from reputable restaurants that I know very well, that I've been dealing with for 20-some-odd years, that I have never gotten sick from, okay? Meaning that I didn't get sick from their food. But other than that, I'm going to tell you, it's scary. So, yes, the state can't get revenue if a business is not open. They can't get their tax money. And if they don't get tax money, what happens? They can't trickle down and pay for the other stuff. That's the reason why they're opening schools, because they're not getting the revenue that they need. All right? And this is the way it is. And listen, New York, you think New York is 15,000 apartments are available? You go to New York and get yourself an apartment buy one for next to nothing. Who wants to live
Right.
among all those crowds anymore? They're petrified. Florida is going to become the same way because people are not thinking rationally. You got to train your children, and the people that walk out without the mask on, they're not smart enough to wear one because they don't think it's going to happen. Well, Mr. President made the same stupid mistake. And look at him now, okay? And let me tell you something. Everybody's going to get this. I don't wish it on anyone, trust me, but everybody's going to get this virus because whether it's strain 1, 2, 3, 5, or 7. I left out 4, but it doesn't matter. Or 6. I left out 4 and 6, but it doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to bring out is everybody's eventually going to get this because everybody is going to let their guard down for one stupid thing. Okay, they're going to go to a wedding, they're going to go to a party, they're going to go to a restaurant, they're going to go to a bar, they're going to go somewhere where they shouldn't be. And that's where the problem is. So, as far as I'm concerned, again, your financial health is just as important to me as your physical health. So if your physical health is suffering now and you don't have money because you lost your job, but you still have a 401k and you're hoping your boss only put you on furlough, okay, and you're getting some unemployment, but what are you going to do? And what are the rules? And should I take money from the 401k? Well, what can I do? Right now, they're making people pay their electric bills. They're making people pay their mortgages because they feel 7 months is long enough, 6 months is long enough without payment, without making you have bad credit, without anything. But not everybody is lucky enough. You know, you got people that are, let's talk about the poorer people. What about the custodians and the people that work in places that they closed down that would clean the building? Well, now they have them coming into work so they could sanitize the buildings. Okay, but what about people that are at lower paying jobs? And those that are not getting a paycheck? And their unemployment is so ridiculous because Florida has the worst unemployment rules and amount of money that they pay out compared to any state. But that's because we're supposed to be, supposedly it costs less to live here than anywhere else. That's a lot
I
of
don't know about
malarkey.
that. Hey, I just saw yesterday Regal Theaters. They're all over. They got like over 600 theaters. They're closing up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, how about buffets? That's a thing of the
Yeah,
past?
what happened to our salad place?
A thing of the past. Remember how you can go into a buffet and say, oh, wow, you know, I'm going to take
Yeah.
as much as I want of this particular thing. I go to the buffet because they make this so well. A salad place that went out of business. How about Regal Theaters closing down today? Closing down. Regal Theaters, movie theaters closing down. I mean, this is terrible. Why? Because any place where there's congregation of people, okay, so a lot of countries in Europe stopped what they called events. You can't have a concert with people. You can't have a sports game with people. You can't go to a place, a church or synagogue, because when you go to these places, there's always one jerk that comes there sick. And
Yeah.
always has a hacking cough or a runny nose or something. And guess what? It subjects us all to it. And that's why, you know, stay home, stay safe.
So let's give everybody your phone number. We're coming to
All
the end of the
right,
show.
Phyllis Simon with the Simon Group, 954-599-1950. Look us up at thesimonGroupUSA.com. We'd love to hear from you. We do everything from regular health insurance to Medicare, disability, long-term care, life insurance, investments, you name it, we got it. And not
You're the
one
best.
size fits all.
She'll be back with us again next month. First Monday of the month.
Absolutely. Everybody
Thanks,
have a very
Phyllis.
safe and healthy month.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.